such a question in broadcasting.
Wait.
Mike Mayo,
we were not on before,
on?
and now we're on.
We are
Now we're going to start over again
restart?
with take two because Lubie is on the mixing boards training Ken, and Ken will, I'm sure, do a fine job.
Ken,
I
never
it's
worry
the
about
Lunchbox.
him. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to another Friday edition of the Lunchbox, coming to you live from beautiful 10 Palms at Gulfstream
Much
Park
better intro this time.
in Hallandale Beach, Florida. And Jeff Defo at the Forest, I know this is my happy place. Is this your happy place, too?
I mean, it has to be. I always love coming here to Gulfstream Park, taking my share of beatings here, and I've had my share of moments of triumph, although they've been few and far between. I can count 3 on my my one hand here, and that's over 41 years. So,
well, all I know
it's been a long, hard road, Mayo.
Now, when we come out to do these Friday shows, I don't measure success by the win and loss ledger at the end of the day with the the gambling and the pari-mutuel tickets.
Yeah.
I measure it by my waistline, and it's always growing and happy because we get treated so well here by Joe Beja and his crew. We get drinks. We get a great menu selection variety. You could come and have breakfast all day here at 10 Palms. You could have burger. You could have sandwiches. You could have sushi. Or in my case today, I'm going Italian. I don't know why, but I'm doing a little chicken parm out at 10 Palms. And
I was thinking, you know what? You probably could use a chicken parm to round out the week here because you haven't eaten enough. I mean, the other thing that's really great here, and we saw this last week when the lovely Kim Ruddy joined us here on the show, and her son Emmett was with us. He just turned 15. Is that not only is there great dining and terrific opportunities and menu selections for adults, but you can even please a kid out here, which is great.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a family-friendly establishment, even though those who are under 18 are not legally allowed to place a bet at the windows.
Although he gave me 2 winners.
We had, during our last Lunchbox Brunch Bash, a child who was being, I guess, just learning the ways of the racetrack, and her dad said, "Which one do you like?" That was Ken's friend, right?
Yes.
And then your friend, I forget her name, but there was a couple of kids and family at the table, and which one do you like? Oh, Cindy Lou Who. That was the name of a character in Dr. Seuss. Cindy Lou Who won at 12-1, and the kid is now hooked for life.
And we know how the professor, how fond he is of kids, so for him to be educating kids at a racetrack.
We've got
really
Ken behind the
exceptional,
mixing board today. He's taking a tutorial from Lubie because
Here's
Lubie
guys.
is going to be going to parts unknown Morocco. He'll be wearing a fez soon. I'm sure he'll be chanting from the Quran and eating with his, I guess when you go over there, do you eat with your hands?
I think it's a lot of hand eating.
They don't have silverware in the restaurants.
Because Shirley can't stand it. The grocers are out, so it's going to be so fun.
A lot of the African cultures do eat with their hands. So
it was the best thing about working in that Dharma Grib restaurant, where you would have like literally a table full of like Hollywood heavyweights. You have Raquel Welch at the table over here, and Greg Allman and Cher, and they were all picking apart these greasy lemon chickens
with their hands.
With their hands. And at first, some people are appalled by that, and then as soon as they turn into you, Mike Mayo.
But as soon as the cocaine residue hits the chicken from their fingers, and then they eat it, and they ingest a little bit
the
of
minute they get a chance to get
cocaine.
going, they start digging that more and more. And from a server standpoint, it was fantastic. No silverware to pick up. Nobody drops a knife or a fork. You got to replace it. No wiping it off with a napkin.
It's been my preferred way of eating for years. We called it Viking style up at Boy Scout camp.
It's
where
called
you just
savagery.
Don't
use.
You're coming at it with your Western elitist point of view, and you got to look the whole world.
It's not with everybody, just the way you do it. It's particularly
Ken looks
disgusting.
utterly bored. Lubie, can you explain? I guess you're training Ken, yet you touched all the buttons before the show.
I'd rather him do it. He's sitting over there for some reason.
He's drinking a beer now. He looks a lot better than he did last week.
We have 2 more weeks, so I'm presuming next week we'll put him on the board fully. And
I just like doing baptisms by fire, whether it's in a kitchen with some new line chefs, and you just say, "Hey, make this, dupes are up, go cook." And I would have just said, "Hey, start the show." And no, you're back there. You're putting.
He can do it.
And then the show didn't even start. So
he can go for it. We're on now. So.
We're on now, and that's the important thing, right, Defo?
You're long past the troubled beginning that we had. I mean, and the thing in broadcasting is make no mention of the things that got screwed up.
I go against grain, and I guess I never forget. Kind of like my ex-wife, just like an elephant.
You cling to certain things, and you have to learn to let let go.
Move forward, not
that's-
ahead. So I'm
name
going
of
to
the game.
remember that when we get to about the 6th race today, and you're going to whine about how you got taken down out of some.
It's not really whining. It's
the
legitimate
third at
complaint.
Laurel, that you would have had a bundle of cash to bet the horse you really liked if they didn't take you. I got taken down yesterday at Saratoga. It cost me a late.
See, there you go. You're the one crying about
Don't
it.
hear me whining about it. Do
Yeah.
you? Yeah, I am whining about it. I don't know what we want to talk
Have a
about
drink.
today.
You need to settle in here
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's
Mike
been
Mayo.
a week.
I mean,
Let
you
me
were
tell
really
you that,
just
Defo. It has
some
been
kind
a
of role.
week.
I do have a compliment that was paid to you by a friend of mine, and I wasn't expecting it. My good friend who I reconnected with after a long, long time. Hadn't heard from this guy. Didn't know where to find him. Got his number actually through Frank Miramati. And he's become a big fan of the Lunchbox. He was watching our sports show in the morning, and he said, "Hey, let me see what these guys are doing in the afternoon." He called me yesterday. He said, "I can't believe you get paid to eat."
And they give us free food too. We get
well,
paid.
I mean, you don't have to
and we
give
get
that
free food.
secret away, but
Well,
get
it's
paid to
promotional
eat and do nothing
consideration.
basically except talk about Mayo's losing bets and his poker tournament exploits. And then he says, that Mike Mayo. And I was waiting for the shot to come, and I was
What is
thinking,
he doing on the air?
am I
He's
going
a
to defend
newspaper,
him? And he
right?
said, he has a great voice. And this is a guy who was, a track announcer of some significance.
Wow.
I mean, and knew how to call a race and had a great voice.
Makes me feel like I might have a future in voiceover work. Or we both have these dulcet tones, and then of course we have Lubie here that provides
this voice.
something
The
different.
Antichrist of
And
voices, and yet it so grows on you that at this point
No,
now I don't know that I could do a show without a little
I
Lubie
got to tell
chirping.
you the truth. The last few days, when he was sick last week and he really couldn't speak without vomiting last week at one of our
I was actually
remote
okay
shows.
until you started eating the tuna.
The tuna
When
sandwich.
starting the tuna,
But that
did it
show,
for me.
without Lubie's laugh and Lubie's voice, it really felt like it was
It's
an
empty,
empty
yeah.
experience.
That's
You
good to
missed
know.
the laugh track, and it's not like it's gratuitous radio laughter all the time. Although not everything we say is, a great depth of humor that would call for raucous laughter in the background. But no, it's good. You get into a rhythm. It's all patterns and rhythms. This kind of job.
And we have found we're hitting our best stride here on the Lunchbox. I cannot wait for the fall season to begin because we're going to be bigger, better, faster, stronger, and maybe losing more money and gaining more weight than any human ever thought imaginable. But it's going to be a fun time. This week, let's recap because I can't even remember. It's been such a blur between going to the hospitals and yelling at different doctors and nurses and all that stuff. But we have been to, where were we? We were
Foxy
Max's
Brown.
Foxy Brown. That was
That was
last
last
week.
week. Max's Grill was
Max's
Wednesday.
Grill.
Anyway,
Burt
shenanigans.
Rappaport.
He
How
was
cool
great.
is
Bert's
he?
such a great
I
dude.
love Rappaport.
I think we lost.
What was the name of his original place?
Well, Raffles was down in
Raffles,
Dadeland,
okay.
The one in
the
Miami.
Dade Mall, and that ended up being a huge kind of nightclub restaurant mix. And the house band was Emilio Estefan and Miami Sound Machine before Gloria even came on board. I love hearing tales
That was a
of
great
old
story.
Florida.
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool. And Bert is one cool cat. I mean, you think he's an older guy. He's distinguished. He's obviously so well regarded in the industry, respected. But
that was kind of cool that the chef was talking about how great it was to get in the organization. Chef at Max's Grill, which has been a real, powerhouse
yeah, they
restaurant
let
for a
people
long time.
create
Yeah.
without having to deal with
And
the
he was so
corporate-
happy to join the Burt Rappaport.
But what I was going
group.
to say about Bert is he is a classy, well-respected guy, but he has a dark side. I mean, he was, he's freely admitting that, he was a rogue child in the 80s, almost on par with Jeff Defo the Forest, right? So
I think he exceeded anything I did, and
And-
certainly those days at Raffles had to be, clouded with all kinds of confusion and an infusion of things that might make you feel pretty good from time to time.
and the way that he didn't miss a beat when you said escapades, but somehow it sounded like sexcapades in Scotland, and he didn't miss a beat. He said, "Yeah, I didn't have many sexcapades, not with the 6 guys on the golf course," and that was, I was talking about some sexcapades this morning, but we're not going to mention that on the Lunchbox. But
I would avoid that material. That was pretty dark.
I was strong on the whole sports
You-
gambling.
you were
thing, which
very good on
Ken,
that.
Ken was strong.
Yeah.
Look, nobody ever. The saying in Tallahassee is this, because obviously this is a state where we can produce a massive amount of revenue for the state and other good by allowing and legalizing sports betting. However, our legislature, the old saying in Tallahassee is common sense has no lobbyist. So
probably true. Actually,
that's the saying up there. And everybody is either bought and paid for, and they want to string this thing out as long as possible. The Seminoles trying to get a exclusivity. Who knows what kind of deals they cut with our governor, whose motto is the free state of Florida. Yet when it comes to free enterprise,
At 3 a.m. they announced that they had reached a partnership.
Anyway, we're here for Happier Talk.
Yes.
It is a Friday at Gulfstream 10 Palms, and that means it's also a contest day.
yes.
And gentlemen, this is a first. I think we've been doing the contest 37
You came
weeks.
without a restaurant
I
in
don't
mind?
have a written. This week has
you
been
don't have
so
a whole
hectic, and again, my office is torn up. My printer's not coming. Last week,
God.
I at least had time to print out the clues. I write them out in an email and read them. I didn't even come up with any clues. I do have a restaurant.
I think you can do it, Michael.
You give a cocktail.
And I think we should start right now because this is going to be the first ad-libbed, totally improvised.
Jesus.
We used to do it in the
Restaurant
beginning when we
clues.
didn't know what we were doing with this, and then
and
you kind of took it over.
I still don't know. Well, I do know what I'm doing. I am going to say tomorrow's contest
The
race.
restaurant is Equibase.
No.
Is that what
Let's
you're
get
saying?
the race. Let's get the race.
Tell the people how the contest works.
Well,
Just
here's
to
what's
be
going to
French
happen.
folks.
Mike, when he comes up with the name of a restaurant, is then going to give you a series of clues, and you can figure out what the restaurant is. Usually it's fairly simple by the third clue. Familiar places to many people. Once in a while we blank on one. And then you have to name the restaurant and then pick the winner of the feature race tomorrow. Whatever featured race Mike Mayo has decided on.
This I have for the people right now. It is going to be another stakes race, the Sheer Drama Stakes. A lot of sheer drama all over the place this week.
And anytime you have a new girlfriend, right?
It's for 3-year-olds and up. Speaking of which, she's in San Diego getting ready for a hurricane, which is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I know you don't buy into global warming because you're pretty much with the right side of things. But I mean, how are they having a hurricane? And of course, the Marlins are
Crazy,
playing in
'cause
L.A.
Usually, the hurricanes that are in the Eastern Pacific are lower Baja, southern Baja, down into Central America, Nicaragua or El Salvador coast. Never do you see them shoot up the coast and actually maintain their hurricane storm integrity. But this one is going like kind of right into the San Diego and
I think it's going to hit the La Brea tar pits.
Yeah, but
Tijuana, you're talking about.
Tijuana,
Yeah.
it looks like, but the dirty side is going to be going more towards the Arizona side. So actually, they might catch a break with not getting as much rain and the wind going the other way. Here I am, meteorologist. I can't even say this right. Meteorologist Mike.
It has a nice ring to it.
I hope that racing, but it's probably going to get wiped out at Del Mar on Saturday or Sunday or both.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you know what? They're having a bloodbath right now, weather-wise at Saratoga. And a couple of our buddies, I don't know, they're fans of the show, might be watching right now. Jersey Kyle's up there with the great Joey Esposito from the Cafe Seville.
Joey,
nice.
Hi.
And Evan, don't mention my last name, Evan Friedman.
They're
all on the trip.
Even rain or shine, you're always able to have a good time at Saratoga. You just have to readjust your handicapping, find the mudders instead of the turfers.
The polyman is very upset. He says, for all of the lofty status and everybody is enamored with it, and they should be, that we've seen at Saratoga in the past, that this particular year has been very much a bust.
Naira has been doing things in terms of trying to maximize revenue, and they have new rules, and you can't bring, maybe I think the coolers anymore, and they charge more money.
I thought that's a whole thing.
I don't know. There's talk that they might outlaw it, or that it's only allowed in certain areas and not in the whole paddock area.
You can't bring your own stuff in there?
I don't know. I don't want to say anything. All I want to say is
that would hurt the local economy.
This is why I stay here, because you can come to 10 Palms at Gulfstream, and even on a maybe rainy day like we have a little bit of drizzle here today, you can be in air-conditioned comfort overlooking the track and also have all your simulcasting needs met.
Yep.
Have all your beverage and food needs met, and it's going to be a great time. And that's why we do this contest. And getting back to the contest,
so what is the race?
The Sheer Drama Stakes, race 9.
Yeah, that's funny.
Boy, we took a long.
Oh my God!
Ken looks totally interested.
Don't worry about
Ken.
1 through 8.
He's fine.
1 through 8 is the numbers that you're going to give for a selection in the Sheer Drama.
What number
Stakes.
race is it?
It's the 9th race on the card tomorrow, August 19th, Saturday. Gulfstream Park, race 9, Sheer Drama Stakes, 7 furlongs on the Doit, the regular main track. fillies and mares, 3 and up, 8 horses in there. It looks like the favorite is going to be Our Adios Jersey.
Well, there you go. I just mentioned Jersey Kyle. There's an
Jersey
omen.
Kyle. And Joey Esposito is
he's a Jersey boy.
No, he's actually from Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
he's Pittsburgh.
But his buddy boy, the late Siragusa, was a Jersey guy. So maybe Our Adios Jersey, 8-5, the number 3 horse. I'm going to go back with Flakes at 4-1, number 5 horse.
Food horse.
That's my pick. Frosted Flakes. They're great. Number 5 is my pick in the sheer drama, the contest race this week, race number 9. Okay, as for the restaurant.
All right, and then you have to send the name of the restaurant and the winner of the race to Mike Mayo Eats at MikeMayoEats.com.
No.
It's Mike Mayo Eats at gmail.com
by noon tomorrow. So number 1 through 8 for the 9th race at Gulfstream. The restaurant, the clues of which I will give in a minute.
It's still incomprehensible, the contest.
Yeah, no, people
get
do
it,
it.
But
they get it.
I don't know how they do it.
They love it. They love getting in the hat. And congratulations again to last week's winner, Brian Schwartz, the only one who picked the winner of last week's contest race, the number 3, Ben Tomato. Or Ben Tomato, I don't know how you pronounce it, and the full name of last
You're
week's
a food guy. Make a
restaurant,
commitment there. Tomato or tomato?
Ben Tomato.
It's
was
tomato.
how it was pronounced by the track announcer here.
Oh, Peter
Aiello.
What a great guy.
He pronounced it Ben Tomato, so that's what I'm going with. And then the only one who also gave the full correct spelled name of Sonny's famous steak Hoggies or Hoagies in Hollywood. Congratulations to Brian and his wife will be coming out here for a future Sunday brunch buffet.
Nice.
Again, beautiful buffet. You get 2 vouchers. That includes a mimosa each, along with tax and gratuity. And you got to come up with the name of this restaurant. It is a restaurant. It's a weird one.
Oh, what a surprise.
It's a bygone restaurant.
Okay.
That might be coming up
back
again.
Oh,
Resurrection.
Okay.
All right.
And I've been saving this one for a week where I didn't have time to write them out.
Okay.
That's
All right.
nice. That's good.
Bygone restaurant that may be making a comeback.
Yes.
All right.
This Chinese restaurant on Atlantic
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Boulevard
Dead
in
giveaway.
Pompano Beach has been passed millions of times by me, but I never ate there, and referenced millions of times on the show by Jeff
They've been under
Defo
construction
DeForest.
for 4
It
years.
was you never went there. You condemned it, of course, as not
I
being
didn't
very
condemn
good.
it.
Yeah, you said it was no good. And,
Yeah.
the truth is, it was the best of what was available in the area by far in
Clue
terms
number
of Chinese
2.
food.
The billboard outside says under renovations
Yeah,
for the
for
last
like
maybe
5
Gives him in the
years.
eye like it was
And
main
didn't realize it was
kitchen, which it
closed.
isn't.
No. No names.
He
No
didn't realize it was
names.
closed.
Okay. So it's had a billboard saying under,
But
renovations
that's since before COVID,
for at
though.
least 4 or 5 years.
Closed for remodeling. It says.
Closed for
Since
remodeling.
before
it says.
COVID.
There's
5
been
years? Has it been
no
5 years?
visible activity at this restaurant.
Occasionally,
Chinese
there's a truck
restaurant
there. Yeah, occasionally.
on Atlantic. Is it Boulevard?
Boulevard. Atlantic
I
Boulevard
always
Boulevard.
get
is
them
just
confused.
west of US
Avenue
1.
is in Delray Beach.
Yeah.
It's literally just west of US 1.
Boulevard is in. Yeah, it's just east of.
There's like a Wendy's. There's a Dandy Donuts.
So again, famous Chinese restaurant is now closed, and I'm saying it might reopen because state records show that the property has been purchased by a major restaurant outfit
group.
that
Nice.
operates and owns, I think, a half dozen Asian eateries
Okay.
around South Florida, including up in Delray Beach, a place called Coco, a new place up there called Yellowtail, a couple of places in Boca Raton, and one in Fort Lauderdale. It's just a sushi and Asian fusion place. I think it used to be called Coco, and I forget totally what it's called now because I did absolutely no homework. But that restaurant group has purchased the property.
Yeah.
And it is unclear what they intend on doing with it, but they own it. And maybe
probably do
it
something
will
with it.
return as a Chinese-only restaurant, or maybe it will come back as one of these Asian fusion sushi restaurants. We'll
I'll
see.
say this.
And look
I
at
mean,
this. It's chicken
it was a
parm
nice
time.
room.
Yep. Thank you.
And even if it was, that's going to this gentleman here.
Okay, that's
That's
it.
going down there.
That's going there.
The room itself, I mean, they were closed for remodeling for 6 years, so I'd imagine they're going to do like a spectacular job there in the remodeling. But truthfully, I don't know that it wasn't one of the nicer interiors of Chinese restaurants to begin with, because most of the places don't really have like a lot of indoor seating or seating there.
And you can make a bet there too, right?
Well,
No,
I mean, the
no,
guy Kenny
the owner
that
was a
owned the place, he
degenerate.
was great, man. He always had the gold sheet under the menus.
Okay.
And I noticed that right away the first time I went there. And
I hope he didn't gamble away all the profits, and that's why
I used to call in my order. I'd say, hey, I would like an order of wings. I would like the ribs. I'd like some Hunan, whatever, and give me the Lakers -2. And then he knew right away, whose name to put on the order.
So I'm going to save the third and last clue until I think of one, and when Joe Beja is here. But that should pretty much tee it up
great
for everybody. Yeah, this is my first time going the chicken parm.
Mind if I grab some of your spaghetti?
You can eat the Moroccan style. I might even do that. Here we go.
Oh my God, Mayo!
Oh, Mayo! Look at you! Oh my God!
I almost cursed.
That is,
Something's mentally wrong with
kids that are going to kindergarten today for the first day of school. That is the food
don't
critic.
Eat like that. My nephew don't eat like that.
From the Sun Sentinel.
What
Unbelievable.
the hell?
Kenny is nonplussed. He is just.
You
think that
must
this behavior actually triggered the buyout? They said, "Hey, we can't keep sending this guy representing us to
they
restaurants."
didn't want me to go. They were begging me, but I said it's time. I gotta unleash the true beast.
Yeah, you unleashed it.
I have the
Here it
clam
is.
chowder here. This is
That's
great.
it. And Ron DeSantis is worried about drag queens. He got me going around eating like this.
Oh my God!
Imagine if you were still writing those statewide editorials.
Oh man, I could have
And
some.
Ronnie
fun
Boy
with
was
that.
in power.
Right now.
You would think again, no common sense, because the people want the sports betting. We could have competition between the various sports betting outfits to compete for either. If you want to only give award 3 or 4 licenses and restrict it in some way.
Do you know anybody though that wants to bet that isn't betting right now that lives in Florida?
No, it's the same way when marijuana was illegal. There was always ways to find it.
But it wouldn't go. It wouldn't go the other way, which is always a stupid way of thinking. Well, if it's legal, it's going to get worse. No, making it legal actually makes it better because it gets regulated,
right?
And then the state makes money off of it. If you're already doing it, why not make money off of it? Like, it's just dumb. Like, every state that's legalized it has made tons of money.
Explained on the morning show, on the morning Defo show this morning, it's not about making money for the state coffers. It's about making money and ensuring campaign contributions for all the state legislators and other statewide officials, because by having this issue unresolved
and being
contested, all the different players will keep contributing to their campaigns, so it becomes a never-ending source of revenue.
When you look at and this is right up your alley, Mayo. When you look at the headline politicians from the state, you got Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, and Ron DeSantis. How low on the totem pole are we dredging to find the people that are in the state House of Representatives and Senate? You have to be kidding me. I mean, this must be the lowest form of humanity that is actually regulating things that go on in the state.
Well, we've gone places that I'd rather not go on the lunchbox. All I'm going to say is this. Every public servant in Florida is doing the best they can. And the best they can is
to serve their
an
constituents.
indictment of our educational systems and everything else in this country. So I'll leave it at that, and I'm going to start trying to bet my lungs out.
And it's not
drink a little bit.
Ever an indictment on anything but positivity, and we haven't really talked about them, but we'll be there next week. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market always goes above and beyond for their clientele.
For the segue into the
we haven't done a lot of them. We've been busy, so I'd like to get into our make sure we get our sponsors.
To right the ship there, Lubie. Yes, next week, Thursday, actually the 24th, we'll be making our monthly visit to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We are allegedly going to be eating Florida lobster tails.
Let me say allegedly.
Well, you never know.
I was there when you brought it up.
There's a late switch.
Like a Trump attorney,
the dream in my mind, the dream scenario is having a couple of fresh steamed Maine lobsters along with a couple of fresh broiled Florida lobster tails.
And you don't think on a blind test you would know the difference?
I think
they can compare them differently.
I mean, it's not even.
I will do a blindfolded test. I will score it on which one is better in terms of flavor, sweetness, firmness, texture, all these things that go into making me an award-winning food critic.
All right.
And then
I think you're talking apples and oranges, though, when you come to.
We're talking Florida lobster tails and Maine lobster tails. That's two things in the same species. That would
It'd be like a ribeye versus a chicken parm. I mean,
shellfish. Not apples and oranges. It's, but again, it is a big difference.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm curious.
If you can't tell the difference, then we have
I
to
lose
end
my
the show.
card. Yeah.
That'll be it. This might be among our last shows today.
What you should do before we have the show next week is go out to Delaware today, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just south of Sterling Road, right across from the old classic Seminole Casino, and Delaware has a big chicken on the roof, so you can't miss it. If you drive on by, just look up and say, oh, cluck, I missed the chicken.
Yeah.
It's open every day. DelawareChicken.com is the website where you could find the weekly specials along with the daily offerings. Better yet, go inside to the store because it is beautiful in there. They keep an immaculate shop. On the left side, you'll find all the fresh seafood and fish, things from the Gulf waters like the grouper, Key West pink shrimp, the conch from the Turks and the Caicos has been a big seller and delicious.
That was great.
And of course, now Florida lobster is in season, and you get things from afar like the Ipswich steamed clams, beautiful, and things like salmon from the West Coast, Alaska, and Washington State. It's all there, along with poultry,
great beef,
ducks,
sausage,
and chickens, and chicken sausage, and pork sausage, and then you got steaks and pork. Go into Delaware. Doug Carter and his crew, his managers, Jose with the seafood, and our friend Gene, the grilling machine, they will take great care of you. They've been there since the 60s. They are just perennial. One of those places that you got to go. Check it out. I've been going there for over 30 years. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Terrific place. It really is. And you're going to love it when you walk in there because the display cases are really, really incredible. And the choices and the selection and the service there is just absolutely dynamite. That's Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We come back to a very slovenly Mike Mayo and 10 Palms Restaurant here at Gulfstream Park. More of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
South Florida restaurant owner really just kind of losing it when the dirty dining cameras show up at his place.
He's not happy. Esposito's New York. And on the mixing board, there we go. We're back on the Lunchbox. And it is another Friday. It's August. It is my pleasure to welcome back to the Lunchbox the man himself, the executive director of hospitality at Gulfstream Park and 10 Palms, is Joe Bejo. Welcome back to the Lunchbox. What's happening this week, Joe?
Well, we're gearing up for our next event for Taste of the Track. Obviously, that'll be on Saturday, the 26th. That'll be our tacos and tequila event, which is usually usually our most popular one.
All of these events are good. The burgers and bourbon. I thought that was
Burgers and beers.
Burgers and brews. Yep,
That's in the past.
that was good. Yeah.
We've got tacos and
tacos and tequila on the 26th. Again, we usually sell out about 350 tickets.
It's the same day as the Travers, so you can make a whole party.
We've already got about 220 tickets sold, so it's a good start with another 8 days to go on that. Actually,
Lunchbox bump, baby.
Yeah, and I even actually brought a little bit of a menu here in case we want to look at it or check it out. But we have some great tacos by my collection.
Tacos is there.
We do.
We have got chili rellenos. So those who, it's not all tacos. It's a little bit of other Mexican treats. Look at this poblano and pumpkin tofu tacos for all the vegetarians out there. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, we have carnitas and chilaquiles and black beans and corn rice. We have a little bit of a buffet table too where people can graze.
Oh, sweet.
Loaded nachos,
queso dip, loaded nachos, and so forth. This
looks like a Mexican food lover's treat. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it would be a great day. And the tequilas are all name brands: Don Julio, Casa Noble, Jaja Tequila, which is the chain smokers tequila. We have Ghost Tequila will be here, Tres Agaves, Casamigos, Cantera Negra, which is brand new. Santo Tequila will be here. That's Guy Fieri's and Sammy Hagar's tequila.
Everybody's in the tequila game now.
We have Codigo as well, which is George Strait's new tequila as well. Wow. So that'll be
George Strait. Is he a country star? That name sounds familiar.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Country tequila's got to really have some kick.
And are you a tequila fan?
I enjoy margaritas, although of late I've found that unless you spike it with a shot of tequila, there's really not a ton of impact for the amount of sweetness that you're consuming.
It's called your tolerance has been building. So
but I mean, really well made and well crafted margarita can really, set you
I had that
into a good mood.
Unfortunate incident when I was 16 and when I landed face down in the sands of Brighton Beach or Manhattan Beach in Brooklyn, and ever since then I've
people are drinking it
tequila.
straight though now. Yeah. I had an unfortunate incident. I think I've told Michael this story where I was a waiter at a place called Steak and Brew in upstate New York. I had gone back to Syracuse, try to make some money, continue my journey to wherever it was going to take me, which I was hoping was California. So I had never had tequila before. And I'm drinking some shots of tequila in the afternoon, a couple of friends of mine, and they kept saying, well, you might not be totally buzzed out now, but it's going to creep up on you. And it did, as we were slammed on a Saturday night, and I'm in there trying to serve tables, and all of a sudden it hit me that I'm like feeling more out there than Timothy Leary. And I remember, and I'll never forget this, I dropped a plate of shrimp fra diavolo in a guy's lap. And I couldn't really make out what he was saying. I was at another table, and I see this face like screaming at me in anger. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, something must have happened over there. So I go over, and the guy says, you dropped this plate of shrimp fra diavolo in my lap, and then you just walked away. I said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. He said, well, it wouldn't bother me so much, except it's not even what I ordered.
And thus a career in broadcasting.
There we go.
Born.
That was it for you.
No, I worked at other restaurants after that. But,
I think we all have a tequila story.
Mine
was my college days in Vegas at UNLV, and we all fraternity jumped in a couple of cars or vans and drove down to San Diego and went across to Tijuana because we figured you could drink at 18 down there, no hassle or anything. So we would just go across there, and next thing you know, you're doing tequila poppers where you do the shot and then they follow it with like a 7-Up, and then they shake your head around and all that stuff, and they'll blow the whistle in your ear. And I think I did about 8 of those, and that was the last I remember. The guys were taking me back to the.
You've climbed back on the horse, like me.
Yeah,
When I
I have.
just sniff the stuff, it kind of gives my body.
Well,
it puts me
to
into
me, it's
shock.
gotten a lot better, both from the aroma and the flavor profiles. Actually, for this particular event, what we do is we represent the all the different varietals that come from these tequilas. So we'll use the blanco or the silver in a specialty cocktail, like a 3-liter version that people can kind of grab and go. And if you are a tequila connoisseur, we'll have the Repo and then Yejos, and some are now doing a Rosa.
So you're saying I should give it another chance. I should come out to Tacos and Tequilas at Gulfstream on August 26th.
Correct.
And you'll call me a cab or an Uber ride home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do.
Hey, you're not a kid anymore, man.
We'll do that.
And now it's become more of a classic liquor.
It's kind of gone along the lines of the bourbons, which brings us into the third event, right? Which is the
bourbon and barbecue.
And that is the one I am
that's a good one.
Excited and geeked up about, because I love my brown liquors. And again, the way that the whole world is now, embracing the Kentucky bourbons and some of the classic, the things like the, Pappy Van Winkle. Not that that's going to be available, but you're going to have some good
we'll have some good
brands.
ones, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what's the date of that? That's the third.
That is Saturday, September 23rd.
Okay, so the third part of the trilogy. And if people want to get tickets for either tacos and tequila or the bourbon and barbecue,
yep.
How do they do that?
That'd be going on our website, www.gulfstreampark.com, and then clicking on the events tab, and that'll bring you to the event or bring you to Ticketmaster. That will allow you to buy tickets for the event. VIP is $75. That gets you in an hour early and a little more premium seating closer to the window or on the window, and then $50 for general admission.
Excellent.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit before the show today that you're late to the party, but you have discovered a show that I've discussed on the Lunchbox before. I don't know if Defo has watched it, but one that I guess is, if you're in the biz and you watch it, you can sometimes get kind of flashbacks or what's the word? Anxiety. Yeah, you get PTSD.
That's The Bear. The Bear. So I started The Bear this week. I don't know why I was late to the game. I guess maybe because of that, I kept thinking to myself, why am I going to, I watch TV to escape, not to go back to what I do during the day.
Times, right?
So I started watching, and of course, there's the episodes where all the tickets are rolling in, they're screaming at each other, and they're not ready for the volume that suddenly came into the kitchen. And like episode 7 of season 1, I was just like watching that last night, going, they flip on the to-go orders, and all of a sudden it just starts printing the tickets, and it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going.
Was that after the critic gave it a good review and they just got bombarded with business?
After the critic gets a special plate of the short rib with the risotto, and
which had not even been officially put on the menu. Yes,
exactly.
No, I just think it's a really well-written, well-acted show. It's billed for some reason when you look it up as a comedy, but it's really not. It's human. It's comedy and drama and everything, and it's just all-encompassing. And wait till you get to season 2. There's some really good stuff. However, this brings us to the food discussion portion. After watching it, inevitably, people have a hankering for what?
The hot Italian beef sandwiches.
The Chicago specialty.
Yeah.
And have you found one yet? Because I could give you a couple of tips. And have you put one, or are you going to experiment and put one on the menu here at 10 Palms?
Funny, I have a 2:00 menu meeting with my boss and chef to go over some ideas for the next time's menu for the next season.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like I told you, your phone listens to everything. So I Googled hot Italian beef sandwiches in South Florida, and all of a sudden I'm getting all the posts from Let's Eat South Florida. I'm getting people's suggestions. I'm getting advertisements to buy it off of Goldbelly or whatever else you want to do. So, I mean, obviously I live off of Griffin Road, so I drive by Hot Diggity Dog,
yes,
twice a day. So I know it's closed on Sunday, Mondays, and cash only, and they have one. I've been there multiple times to get a Chicago dog dragged through the garden. That's the only way to get it if you really want to have a Chicago dog. So I'd get the drag through the garden, but I'd never been back for the hot Italian beef. So that's now on my list.
I'm going to give you 3 places for a hot Italian beef, because this is why the Gambling Gourmet is the Gambling Gourmet, because I've been around, I've eaten them all. One place is no longer with us. Chi-Town used to have a really good one. That was up in Pompano. Fortunately, there was a little drug dealing allegedly going on there. And that
was just like the show.
Yeah, just like the show.
These are allegations.
That was really authentic for the Bear.
These are allegations only.
Allegations only, not in a court of law yet. Okay, so 3 places. Hot Diggity Dogs near me on Griffin Road, right across from our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. They make I think it's very tasty. They have a good proper jardiniere and au jus that they can dunk the beef in and serve a little bit of au jus on the side. The beef itself, I think it comes in a package. It's not like fresh made in a whole beef, roast beef where they slice it. But it's adequate and it fills the bill on a nice tasty roll, and it's also the right price. So I do recommend Hot Diggity Dogs. Then we go to our friends, and this is a place that we've been to on the Lunchbox, Broad Shoulders Sandwiches up on Commercial Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. Tom and his wife Cheryl, they are both disciples of Emeril Lagasse. They worked at Emeril's all over in New Orleans and also in Orlando. But Tom originally is from Chicago, and he prepares a very good Chicago hot Italian beef sandwich. That would probably be number one on my list in terms of quality. And again, maybe a little bit more money than at Hot Diggity Dog, but well worth it because of quality ingredients. Everything made in-house. His jardiniere, he chops up every day, and he roasts his own beef. Excellent stuff. Third one for people up in Boca Raton, place called Hot Dogopolis. It's on Federal Highway in Boca. They have a whole bunch of different types of hot dogs, and also kind of they also do elk dogs and venison dogs, sausages, and things like that. They have good Chicago dogs there. One of the proprietors, they actually worked for a while in Chicago. They're from New York, but they also make a very good hot beef sandwich. I think theirs is on a round roll as opposed to a longer hoagie bun. But there you have it. Hot Dogopolis in Boca, Broad Shoulders Sandwiches in Fort Lauderdale on Commercial, Hot Diggity Dog, Griffin Road in Dania Beach. 3 spots for Italian beef.
Good to know.
There you go, man. I think you covered the whole ballpark there.
I got it. Well,
Speaking of which, are you okay with your Yankees, Joe Beja?
Oof, I've given up. I already started wearing my.
Are you on the Fire Cashman bandwagon?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm in the Fire Cashman, Fire Boone. What I've been saying all summer, I read an article about it today. It popped up, of course, in my feed about they should just clear house and hire some people from the Atlanta Braves front office because they really are. Alex Anthopoulos of Atlanta, he really has what he has going on there between development, drafting. I mean, they're really.
Once they got it together,
I mean, and how they're signing them. I mean, look at them. They're only losing Max Fried after next year. Everyone else is signed through 2027, 2029. They're getting these players and said,
making
okay,
these New York teams look silly the way they destroyed both the Mets and the Yankees.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
So better luck next year, and just in time, it's football season, so you don't have to watch any more of that mediocre baseball. Are you psyched? Okay. You're a weird one, Joe Beja, and I mean that in a positive way. You were rooting against the hometown Panthers because you're a Vegas Knights fan and you won the Stanley Cup. Who's your basketball team? Do you
Knicks.
have
Everything else
your
is New
basketball
York.
team?
Knicks,
Right.
Yankees, Giants.
Giants. Okay, I was going to ask you with the upcoming football season. So you don't root for the Dolphins? Are you one of those that is a Dolphin hater and take glee in every injury and every time?
I'll root for the Dolphins as long as they're not playing the Giants. So come October 8th.
Is that here or there?
Here.
Okay, so you're going.
You already have tickets?
I already have my tickets.
Oh, nice.
I already have my tickets.
You
I'm
have,
going to do a
3
plug.
extra I can poach for a friend of mine. He's been dying for him.
Yeah. He knows you're going to turn around and sell them.
I actually have my cousins coming down from New York, so I've got 3 tickets, and they're coming down for the weekend. They're going to go to the game, and we're going to go to my friend Cameron's tailgate at 32 East. Give him a little bit of a plug.
Oh, good deal.
So he runs a great tailgate out there at 32 East at the stadium, and does full buffet and stuff like that. It was funny because I told him, I said, I'll see you there. And he goes, oh, we're going to have Sonny's cheesesteaks because he has a partnership with Sonny, or he, collabs with him. And I looked at him, I said, are you doing cheesesteaks for the Giants? What are you going to do? Meat Paul Parm for the Eagles? I mean, I don't get it. He goes,
bagels and cream cheese for the
you
Philly.
can't go wrong with Sonny's steaks. And I said, yeah, okay. You're right. I'm not gonna
it's close enough to Giant Stadium when you go right down the turnpike. It's actually
Philly.
A lot, you see
Jersey,
a lot of
close
Philly
to Philly.
people coming up there. All right, football season is almost here, and it's also time for our third and final contest clue this week, Joe B. And it is a place. I was so busy this week, I didn't even have time to write out the clues. I'm just ad-libbing them. And it's a place that is no longer with us, yet still might come to be again. It might be resurrected soon. It is a place, as I mentioned in our first clue, that I've driven by a million times and I've never been in there. It's a place that Defo has talked about a million times on this show. It's a Chinese restaurant on Atlantic Boulevard in East Pompano Beach. It is a place that has been closed since before COVID, with the sign outside that says, what does it say?
Closed for remodeling.
Closed for remodeling.
Yes.
Yet there's not any evidence of any remodeling.
They were working on a roof in the very beginning, and then I guess that's when the transaction took place.
So Chinese restaurant, Pompano Beach, talked about often here, no longer with us. The second clue is that it is shown that the property has been purchased by a restaurant group that runs at least 6 other restaurants, Asian and sushi restaurants around South Florida, including Koi is the one in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova shops right next to our friends at Gilbert's Hamburgers, 17th Grill. Koi, they run in Fort Lauderdale. They also run Coco in Delray Beach, a new place called Yellowtail in Delray Beach, and 2 places in Boca Raton. I think one of them is Psycho I is a sushi place, and another I don't even know what it's called, but they have a bunch of restaurants. They state records show that they have purchased the property.
This is some clue.
This is some.
This is some clue. I tell you what, if you don't have it by now, people.
When I don't.
I'm waiting for the
Oh, my
pun. Where's the
goodness.
pun?
All right, and now
Where's
the
the
third
pun?
and final clue.
I mean, they're
What
well
is-
renowned for a certain item. That would be the clue.
The name of the restaurant contains a famous food item that nowadays maybe would be named for Beijing instead of the name that is.
Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Before they had the closed for remodeling sign, they had a sign that said, "World's Best
Blank,
blank blank,"
and rhymes with.
and that was the name of the restaurant also.
Yeah, and rhymes with what you need at the racetrack is good luck.
Yeah,
So,
Lucky Mouse.
man, am I all over the place?
You're
And
gone, man.
The
You're
best
shot
part
better,
of
yeah.
this today is that instead of posting all these clues, I'm going to post another post later in the day saying, if you want to take part in this week's contest and haven't watched the show already, you got to go back and watch the show for the clues.
I would say just put the name of the restaurant out there.
Do you know this place?
No.
No.
Have you driven past, like, you know Johnny's restaurant in
Yeah.
Pompano?
Yeah.
Okay,
Johnny's. Yes.
So Johnny's
Yeah.
is to the left, but a little before it, as
On the
you're
right.
going towards the beach on the right, is this establishment.
Okay.
Maybe now you know it.
I still don't know. I'm going to
Okay,
Google it.
I'll
though. I
tell
will
you.
Google it.
I'll tell you when we're on the next break. We got to talk about our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. It is the weekend, but tonight you can go in there. It is still happy hour in the bar, even on a Friday, because that's how they roll there at Tropical Acres. The Studiali family, they want to take great care of everybody, especially heading into the weekend when everybody's trying to relax. So 4 to 6:30, you get your half-price drinks in the bar for happy hour, along with all kinds of great light bites like their sirloin sliders and their escargot and their caprese salad, and even some chicken wings. They have a soy glazed chicken wings. All of those are $6 or $7. They have the half price drinks. Then you go into the dining room tonight. You can still get their twin Maine lobsters, $39 for 2 fresh steamed Maine lobsters, £1.25 each, along with a salad and a side dish. $39. That's going to fill you up. You can't beat that deal. Better yet, go with a friend or a romantic partner and do a little surf and turf. Get the lobster platter, get a little prime rib or filet mignon, and cut that baby in half. Each have a lobster, each have some beef. You're in heaven. The Studiali family, like I said, they are all about hospitality. They have been doing it since 1949. That's older than Defo. It means they're doing something right. Go in there, 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, that's what, tequila and tacos? Tacos and tequila.
Tacos and tequila. Saturday the
coming up.
26th.
Don't miss
August 26th.
Out here
I
at,
will be
Gulfstream.
there, hopefully not face down by the time the Travers is.
You might
off
be
and
face
running.
down in that spaghetti by the end of the show here. All right,
Tell
we're
you,
coming
this
back.
one
We'll wrap
drink.
this thing up.
Yeah.
Joe Beige, always a pleasure. Thanks for having us in here.
Great to be here.
You're the
And,
man.
we
Good luck
will,
to the
uh,
Yankees. Enjoy the second season of The Bear. There's some really great episodes.
yeah.
So
We're trying to complete this edition of the Lunchbox in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you.
Yeah, all right, we're back on the Lunchbox. There he goes, the blue button. We've got producers in training, and we're just going with the flow. And Ken's doing a fine job.
Late to the party a little bit here, Mayo. You're schlubbering about those clues.
Well,
I was going to get up. I mean, look at the name of the 7-horse. You know, I always bet the 5-7s if they
Vino
look
for
like
the
a
Queen.
puzzle.
We love wine for the Queen. The Queen not drinking much vino these days.
No, we're talking
she's
about Mustang.
Dead.
I mean, come on.
Is she the Queen?
The queen of the household there.
Okay.
So, I mean, and who
She
drinks more
does
vino
like
than
her vino.
Yeah.
So that
I went
was a
through
nice
like
1
4
shot.
bottles the other day, and I never took
All
a
right,
sip.
so Defoe's whining because he missed the first race. If you just got into
I'm
the
not
21st,
whining. I'm blaming you. I mean, it's just strictly
What?
your fault.
I don't have you shackled to the chair. I've seen you
I
get up
don't
and
want
go
to
to
be
the
rude
windows
and get up in the middle
mid-show.
of, well, we got a contest going, and you know what?
No,
If you've been to this restaurant, maybe you've
because
been there
the
in the
sponsor
past.
was sitting here.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get up in front
Yeah,
of the
that would
sponsor.
be
If it just
rude.
been the two of you, you'd have totally.
Now,
I would have shoveled that spaghetti in your face and
thing
gone and made my
is
bet.
this, Defo, if you just got into the 21st century and got a betting app, you could do it right in your chair while I'm blabbering on. You could have done your $20 exacta, and I wouldn't have to
Would
hear
have been
about
worth 158.
what did it pay?
Interesting time to bring up
1580.
$15.80 for a
apps.
deuce, so you could have had $158 with
Right.
your little $20 exacta. We welcome to the show Ken the Professor Jacobson. Thank you for coming out. Second straight week. Have you learned the ropes of the
good as
Lubie, the
as-
ways
as-
of Lubie?
As good as I plan to.
All right, as long as we get the spots in, and make the
Yeah,
sponsors happy. Well, I don't even care about the music anymore. It's all good. That
It's time to
Oliver
fire it up
Twist.
again here, Mike Mayo.
soon. Why
Yeah.
you want to get out of here?
Yeah, well, you got
I
to
got
get
to
out of
do
here,
one
man.
more thing.
What do you got?
Dine Out Lauderdale, of
Oh,
course.
okay, yeah,
It's
get that
ongoing
in.
all month long, August, and some of the places are going through the end of September.
Because
You
I'm
know
not
that.
going to let you cost me my 5.7 at Woodbine.
Oh, you get up right now. I don't want to hear this whining and complaining. Well, before I do the last spot, Ken, you doing all right? You got anything on your mind? Any big plays, horses, soccer, college football?
I mean, I think you got to bet Spain, right? Because England always chokes in everything soccer
Yeah.
related. So I would definitely go with Spain.
Wouldn't
But no, I don't. My preseason success rate right at the moment is not that high. So I'm not gonna. I only give that out to the Defo listeners. I'm not gonna plague the lunchbox people with that.
Is there college football this weekend? Is
No, 2
there,
weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Week 0 and 2 weeks.
All right.
And being brutally honest, there's not a lot great on the board in week 0.
Okay.
Kind of looking at the San Diego State Ohio game. We'll definitely be talking about that in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's not a rich and deep schedule in week 0 this year.
What
or
about
week 1 for that matter.
What about food finds? Anything that you've seen lately that or eaten at lately that has tickled your fancy?
Recent finds.
That's a no. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a no. I've been on a crazy hot dog kick lately. I actually have been to Hot Dogopolis up in Boca, which I heard you mention earlier. Is a very solid hot dog.
Did you like it?
joint.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good joint, and they do a good hot
Been
beef
on
sandwich.
a hot dog kick. I lost my hot dog place, the Chicago place on McNabb,
Oh, yeah.
because
Right,
it turned
Chi-town.
out that they sold half the meth in Broward
allegedly.
County.
We just mentioned that in the last segment. Like
Yeah.
I was mentioning, it had a good Italian hot beef sandwich too. At Chi-town, and unfortunately, maybe
Also
allegedly
apparently
some,
good drugs.
allegedly.
I mean, if they
nothing
find
has been-
200K in the back of your hot dog
Ken,
restaurant,
I am not on
I'm
a jury.
saying there's
I am
a
not a
decent
prosecutor.
chance.
I did not conduct the investigation. It's not my place to convict anybody or conduct any witch hunts.
I'm
Again,
not trying to witch hunt anybody. I'm just saying the evidence seems to
unfortunate.
point in a certain direction.
it's very unfortunate for Chicago food fan lovers that place went down.
Yeah, it was.
because a lot of people did like it. Chi-town did put out a good. They had some good pizza. They
Yeah.
had some good Chicago dogs. They had some good hot beef sandwiches. Alas, it is no more, but there are others out there to have, and there are lots of good eats to have out there during Dine Out Lauderdale. Defo, I'm just going to dismiss you now because you're.
Oh,
making
I'd be
a
happy
face.
to leave. Yeah. No,
you could
this
go.
show has gone nowhere from the beginning. I mean, we talk about being lost in space.
Dine
my
Out
man.
Lauderdale. Go check it out. DineOutLauderdale.com. Visit lauderdale.com/Dine Out. All scores of restaurants, over 100, taking part throughout Broward County, Greater Fort Lauderdale. Some real good ones, including Cooking the Cork up in Lubie's neighborhood. And near me, there's Toro Latin, the great restaurant at the Meridian Hotel. There is all over Fort Lauderdale, our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack and Lauderdale by the Sea taking part. Union Kitchen and Bar, which we've been to a couple of weeks ago. Foxy Brown, that we visited last week, all taking part in the Dine Out Lauderdale. And it's not just dinners, multi-course dinners, also cafes, Sunday brunches at Cafe Max up in Pompano. They're doing that. And, of course, I think Frank Pepe's Pizza just signed up, so they're taking part along with Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor. There's kitchen sink for one, not usually offered, but you can just go in there solo and get a kitchen sink for one person, $18.95. Just say Dine Out Lauderdale, kitchen sink for one. That's going to do it for this week.
Okay.
We've lost. Lubie is stormed off. Defo has stormed off. I'm left with the professor and me and
new stuff. Chick-fil-A has a new sandwich I read yesterday. I didn't read what kind, but apparently there's going to be a new Chick-fil-A sandwich. I am personally excited.
You know what? I'm just going to leave it at that because
Okay.
Chick-fil-A is one of those polarizing places that anytime it gets mentioned on Let's Eat.
You don't like Chick-fil-A?
I like the
Is this a
basic.
social issue thing as opposed to a food thing?
I don't judge places based on who they support or what
Okay.
issues they. I go strictly by food,
Okay.
and as long as they don't restrict anybody from coming in the door and either purchasing their food or working there,
Okay.
those are my barometers.
Okay.
So, and as far as I know, Chick-fil-A will hire anybody, and they will serve anybody. and I like their regular chicken sandwich.
Okay.
So
I'm more of a spicy guy, but yeah,
okay.
I don't like their politics. I like their food.
One quick question for you, the restaurateur. Somebody on the Let's Eat South Florida group posted something today, is that if you're a grown adult and you spill a drink on the table, you automatically should tip higher than 18 to 20%. That it's.
I mean, I think you should always, if you're getting good service, I think you should. 20 is a baseline. I don't know where the 18 thing. That's a lot of math.
But what if you spill and create more work for everybody?
It happens.
Happens.
I don't necessarily think
server-
that mandates a bigger tip. If you want to give a bigger tip, I'm always an advocate of giving a bigger tip.
I
but
sometimes feel
I don't feel like it's mandated.
Sometimes, look, accidents happen, but if I've maybe had a couple of drinks too many and I make a mess and I knock over a glass of wine and it gets everywhere and they have to come scrambling with things, I'm going to bump up my tip because I feel bad. But
Okay. I
just
never argue with someone who wants to tip more.
Yep. That's going to do it for this week. We're going to be back next week. Home shows on Monday. I don't know if we're going to be anywhere on Tuesday. I do want to say, in good and welfare, glad to hear that Lenore from Gilbert's 17th Street is back home and hopefully recovering. She had a little stretch there where she was in the hospital. And hopefully we're going to be able to get out to Gilbert's and see her and do a show there before the end of the month. I got to coordinate with Beth. But, again, good health, get better soon. And next week, where are we going? Casa Calabria on Wednesday. We're going to be well fed with our friend Frank Talrico at the Ocean Manor Resort. Thursday, we're going to be at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. And then Friday, right back here at Gulfstream. Again, send those contest entries, number 1 through 8 for the 9th race at Gulfstream tomorrow, along with the answer to the Chinese restaurant in Pompano Beach that rhymes with, what would it rhyme with? Leaking luck, I guess that would be it. All right, I've done blabbering. It's Mike Mayo. Enjoy every handful of spaghetti and enjoy every sandwich.